Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Whoops. There we go. One sec. Okay. There we go. Alright, I figured I'd just crank out the Flannel Ethereal review early this week, so I can move on to some other stuff and start focusing on my own teams. You know, my own season starts on Tuesday. Tuesday. So, yeah. Just try to get it done sooner rather than later, you know? Is my frame rate low? What's going on with my camera? Does anyone else see this? Like, it almost looks delayed and weird, huh? That's not right, huh? Huh. Oh, that's the wrong button completely. Uh well, I guess we'll live with it. I guess it might look a little bit weird, a little bit off-putting, but, you know, alas, better than nothing. Wait, hang on. This button's not working either. Oh, because that's the button I'm on already. Okay, never mind. I'm getting distracted by stuff that isn't a problem. You guys want to get started? We're just going to be doing this very casually tonight. Very, very, very casually. So, yeah, shall we? We need to start with the drafts. I've been working a lot today. We've been doing a lot of video work. I did like this mid lane workshop earlier today as well, so I could like start to learn some, like relearn some skills. So I don't want to go too crazy here. So let's just take a peek at the draft, shall we? Let's start here. Move on to the game. Sounds good. Okay. 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 Immediately, I am wondering what had to occur for us to prioritize Diana B1. If we're gonna do something like this, hi Declo, good to see you. So the bands underneath my body are Janna, Ezreal, Jarvan. On the other side, it is Maokai, Kale, Samir. Kale, early. Wow, then you really don't have any faith that we can... Okay, so... It's because you wanted to play Diana Yasuo, but why not prioritize a more contested pick on B1 and then take them on a combo rotation? You're playing blue. You have 2 different combo rotations. Right? You have 2-3, and you have 4-5. Both of which you select 2 champions at once. So... It's not like... The only rationale I can see for this one is like Diana is a noticeably contested pick between these 2 champion pools, and admittedly I wasn't looking at the scouting doc that you guys prepared. I do know this Janna ban is because the enemy support was like a really extreme Janna main, right? And we're removing the Jarvan clearly because we seem to have like a pre-built plan to not play Jarvan this game, and we don't want to remove, or we want to remove like a really staple initiator that we're not planning to be one. That makes sense to me. That's cohesive. That's normal. We're removing Ezreal, who thrives against a bunch of melee champions, but so, you know, cohesive, fine strategy here. It's just like I actually start to wonder, okay, I really need to sit down and just review what I had said about IBS champions. I need to go watch my old footage when we did that again, make a lens list or something, and transfer it into my OneNote so I just have a better resource. Speaking of, hang on. What's on what screen? Okay, that's on that screen. Okay, good. Because, like, if I go to the Diana page, what do I have written here about IBS Diana? Nothing. And, again, just so I can not display every file on my computer onto my stream. I'm still not fond of the IBS tier lists that we have right now. Because it's not a lens. It lists Diana as, like, reasonably good, but it's a tier list, and it's an old one at that, so it's not particularly helpful to us anymore compared to, like, the platinum lens lists that we had, you know? Well, at least let's see what the composition around. You think this comp work? Yes, that's true. And so maybe I'm tunnel visioning maybe too hard on B1. My point is if you are going for like explicit combos like this and they are not dominant contested power picks, it's probably better to just grab them on the combo rotation rather than, you know, spending B1 on something that I'm nitpicking, I guess. Okay. Diana early. Diana immediately. Okay. It is responded to by Viego Zillion. Not necessarily a combo that belongs together per se, so, you know, we'll take it. Our response is Rumble Yasuo. We are just putting Prisma on his main. We have a Yasuo to cover the damage spread, right? We're getting ready to run like a 2-2 sort of thing. Like 2-2 damage spread, which offsets the penalty for having double magic, because we've now learned in IBS we do have to care about our damage spread. The response here is Ornn, presumably either just grabbing the Ornn like immediately, you know, because they understand the principle of like having an initiator, right? Diana is contested between these pools. Okay, in that case, yes, Diana heavily contested, then take it, because B1 is just for contested picks in IBS. In that case, I apologize, because I should be checking my scouting docs before, like, so I can see what information you guys had going in. That's probably best, isn't it? Hi, Karibo. So, the enemy team bans some engage supports, but they don't fall into the trap of banning, like, two identical ones. It is actually justifiable to ban Nautilus these days, without banning Leona, because Leona is significantly weaker than Nautilus. So we see that. They're just trying to ban stuff that would, like, enable this sort of wombo, right? We ban Caitlyn, we ban Nami. I do like banning the disengage support here. I definitely do. If you're not comfortable playing, like, the Yasuo into Giga range like this, I totally get it, right? Totally get it. Especially, yeah, you might struggle into that. So they respond Seraphine. Now, I would be thinking Seraphine mid Zillion support, but apparently that's not exactly what happened. You take the uber powerful in IBS set into a tank matchup, so we're happy with that. We grab the range support of Senna, like Senna, just a Senna Yasuo lane, deck low on some comfort, right? Something that can contribute greater, like further to a wombo, right? This is like absolutely just a press R comp, right? Press R comp. And sub plays, yeah. So you guys knew going into this would be Seraphine support, which obviously I am never afraid of. And they decide that Zeri is going to survive the lane most effectively. And they do absolutely need a hyper carry, because, like, truthfully, when you get to this deep in your composition, when you see this 4, we're not scared. Why are we not scared? Because this is an IBS team that has drafted virtually one carry. This is a mono carry IBS comp. We are not considering Viego. I mean, presumably the Viego is going to be building like Kraken, and he's going to be trying to build a carry, but it's also a completely unsupported Viego, and he's just like really trying to 1v9. And when we're playing an IBS and we're trying to find a champion that does that for us, then Viego is just not as useful as Master Yi or Bel'Veth, right? Yeah, kind of, and I guess hopefully the Seraphine, I can't believe I'm saying this, I hope the Seraphine builds Leandri's support, which is just, but we'll see where this goes. So we see a very simple press R composition on Flannel side. Like, the outcome is a simple wombo comp. Everyone presses R, everybody syncs up just a little bit. The team fight plays itself versus eggs in one basket sort of thing. So yes, I think Ethereal is favored in the outcome of this draft for IBS level. We say you need like a proper initiator. In this case, we don't necessarily have that per se, but we do have Set who can act as that. We do have Diana who can kind of act as that, as long as she's like I mean, she could maybe be on a rocket belt, unless, like, because the range is, like, mid to long and very short. Nah, you know what? They're short-ranged enough as a whole. It just ended up working out that way. So we're happy. We're happy with this. And spoiler alert, I already know the outcome of every single game. This is actually the game we win. And this was before this series. Well, it's a team who is still undefeated in series score. So taking a game off them and threatening game 2 is very, very, very good. And I can absolutely see why that happened with the draft. So yeah, Diana was contested on B1. We're drafting like combo pieces and hyper mains and stuff and matchups that we think would be favorable. And, you know, we're good. We're happy. We're satisfied. We can't go too deep on this one today. I'm just going to be watching the very basics. We finally discovered our shenanigan detectors. We know exactly what is going to call shenanigans nowadays. And what calls shenanigans is when somebody is conspicuously not on a wave that they should be on. That's our shenanigan detector. So we hadn't put it in those words prior to this series. But let's see how valuable that principle will be throughout these games. And if we can like really trivially easily bring that over to the next series, right? And finally, we have what will be going forwards, our complete roster. We haven't had this together all season, which is really, really, really good. Hi, Paradox. Yeah, aren't they based? They are so based. Where's my Senna Seraphine? We're not the type of team who would be running Seraphine AP carry. Okay, let's speed this up. Let's get some action going. Let's see what's going on. We have spent what, guys, what is this? For whom and for why? Okay, so for Jade is immediately placing a ward on own buff and immediately recalling. For the record, you have an additional 20 seconds before you need to do this. You have an additional 20 seconds before like it is desperate. So like bit early, bit wasted. It's okay. You have to base like right before. My brief thoughts are actually on Twitter. In fact, I'll actually just go put those up. I am not just, what am I doing, about to display my Twitter homepage on stream without knowing what's going to pop up. It ended up being just a fucked up foods post. So. Okay, one sec. This is what I put up. Okay, so are you guys ready for my like actual conclusions? We're good? Yep. This champion is nowhere near as good at enabling like bruisers, and she's not really a dive champ anymore. The cool thing about Yumi was that she was such a dive enchanter before. You know, she can go where other enchanters cannot go, and then provide like crazy CC and crazy utility to somebody there. You're still incentivized to like hop around between allies where appropriate, but you're definitely more incentivized to like stick on your 80 carry. Because that best friend mechanic just cannot be stacked easily in the mid game unless you're really in a position where you can like be slow and luxurious with your macro. Honestly, like, can you afford just having Yumi sit on a top laner or a jungler while they farm? I mean, this doesn't apply on monsters either. It's only minions. So yeah, like, you're not swapping your best friend. You're not a dive champ. You don't have CC anymore. You have like piss poor attack range, and your base stats are bad still. Your resistances are bad. Your health pool is bad, so you don't get to do that thing from before where you just like fist fight somebody directly until you're almost dead, and then you attach, and then you've won lane off of that. But this new Yumi looks so much stronger at just being in combat with an 80 carry. Like, a crazy on-hit that you don't have to pay Ardent Gold for is really good. This heal on-hit, the number is really small. The difference between rank 1 and rank 5 is good. It's impactful. You want this, but like you can't justify it over other spells. Even that's good. Having a random heal shield steroid like this is ridiculous. More healing here with some damage, some like really good slow utility. There's just a lot of really appealing things. Like crazy attack speed, frankly. It doesn't increase with level. Like, yeah, it's just an AP ratio, but there is just a lot of good, really strong combat utility here. plus the combat utility of having an extra combat sum, right? Like, Yumi is a champion who will go next to an AD carry who just wants to beat the shit out of you. Like, Zeri, that'll stay there. Yumi with Neela is gonna be insane. Like, I'm just... The identity's different. I'll confirm if I'm right in our testing session. I'm just... She's gonna be scary in combat with the right combos. That's how it's changed. And that's... I didn't even mention the resistances on R, right? Like, giving like, rough... It's like approaching 20 at rank 1, right? Like, 20 resistances on Best Friend or something like that. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of resistances. So, yeah, she looks really, really, really good. But she's only for AD carries. Very different identity, right? So, Q is a lot, but the Q is almost like a Vel'Koz Q with like the angles you can go for. Jade, what I was saying just a moment ago, because I was watching the wards, you're actually like 20 seconds too early on this. I don't mind you placing this. You know, I would prefer for it to be here, or I'd prefer for it to be, like, here or something, defending, like, the entrance, like, a little bit more. Like, I guess you intend to clear, like, start down here. Like, that's fine. It's just early. You want to be in bait. You want to be, like, starting your recall at 55, like, at the latest. But, like, 50 to 55 is pretty good for that. Because you see, you just kind of have to stand here anyway, waiting. And then for some reason, Trainer, like, places a second ward. I didn't hear, like, your follow-up or anything like that. This is unnecessary. This could get scary for the top laner, and you guys just have to get really, really good at tracking this game. As I said, leading into this, just a recap for everybody coming in, I do favor the Ethereal comp in this game. I think it is much, much, much more appropriate for IBS level play to be playing what we are playing than what they are playing. And I'm not surprised that the outcome was good just by looking at the draft, but we can at least see, you know, how things are going. I really, really hate, like, 1.5 carry comps in IBS. Oh, yeah. It's like, if Zeri collapses, GG. That's it. It's gone. So we have Diana initiating what looks to be a full clear. If you're starting red side and then go Krugs, like, you're almost surely full clearing, right? Yeah, exactly. We're not trying to put down the enemy team. We're just saying that they have to execute far above their expected level to pilot this, right? I'm not critiquing any individual laning things too deeply, right? We're just kind of observing outcomes. I don't know. I'm definitely a triple threat enjoyer down here. This is definitely the elo where, like, the more threats the better, right? we are all the threats. Everyone is a threat. Sociopath Saul, welcome to the stream. Game 2. That's what I've been told. I've been told Game 2 looks nuts. So, I'm looking forward to it. There, speak of the devil, there's the AD carry, right? We were just saying, like, this draft that they put you guys on is, like, 100% dependent on you 1v9ing. So. Okay, so yeah, Diana completing a full clear. Crab is done. Junglers appear synced, right? Did we actually gain intel on Viego? Did we actually check for that? Right. It hurts, but it was good. I'm going to criticize this. I don't know why we're walking straight back here. Absolutely criticizing this. Once we've completed a full clear and there's no action on either side of the map, like, there's no reason not to take our... Like, because, again, the walking down here for a counter gank isn't any faster than just taking your recall, spending your full clear gold, walking straight through to bot lane, being in position for your Krugs, you know? So I'm not stoked about that one. Like, we could already be up a recall on Viego, contesting him with, like... Blasting Wand. Like... So... That's my criticism. I mean, unless you're... unless we're trying to 9 camp, which we weren't because we weren't on Raptor start, right? And the tempo's just all thrown off at this point. Very quiet early game so far, which is nice. 5 minutes without anything like drastic happening, right? Boop, 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 boop. Well, we are a press R comp, but we're taking the opportunities that exist. Well, even without that factor, because, like, that's not even a factor we should be considering, like, IBS Gold, like, arguably even Platinum. Even without that, it's just very poor form to not take this free recall, like, just wandering around the map like this, right? We're trying to reduce variables, so... Yeah, we can keep power farming as long as nothing is required here. And you can see how, like, the clear ended up putting us in this, like, there's no harm in, like, watching and recalling because we've cleared ourselves into this corner, but, yeah, see, now we're on Blasting Wand deck. Okay, so we are going Jack Show Diana, then. Viego appears to be going for a Boar Crush. We can't know that just yet. Is Seth confirming a... Well, Seth's already taken his... Like, everyone's taken their first base. We have a dive attempt. Was it bungled? Is there anything I can critique other than mechanics? Nope, we got his flash. We're good. We're satisfied with that. Revive with the... Yeah. I'm just... the expectation is Jack Show Diana. We're just checking that that's what's happening, you know? Or alternatively, like, if Zilean is... You can bank on Zilean being caught in the wombo with everybody else, but then that's, like, an execution barrier that we're introducing for no good reason. You know, there's no need. Okay, so we have a serious CS deficit down in the bot lane, and we have to see what's been going on here. Like, what has caused this to occur? I know we're playing Yasuo. I know we're playing a melee into ranged, right? We're gonna get really critical down here now. I know we said we weren't critiquing, like, lane phase things too much, but, like, a 30 CS gap is startling. Saul is actually near 10 CS a minute. Yeah, good farming on the 80 carries part, but, like... just because our opponent did something well doesn't mean we should stop looking for things we can do better, right? So I need to see whether we have done something to deny ourselves farm or whether we're just missing it. That one looked like, you know, two just kind of missed. Okay, Seraphine pressure is not that extreme into a flow shield, right? We're totally fine. Do we have eyes on Via? We kind of anticipate Viego being a little near then if we knew he started topside, right? Yeah. There's the Viego. We're just missing the creeps too. Like, what are we running them down for? I mean, I guess that ward can't hurt. We're still getting XP. Declo should be willing to last hit the creeps that Velsies can't get. We're really not that zoned off with a flow shield and no minion advantage and a Seraphine who is like and a Zeri who doesn't have items, so we should not be that scared of them. We should be willing to, like, take a trade with Senna, like, kind of, especially now, to, like, cover our CS. Flow shield popped. Now that the minion, like, the minion wave is stacked, we're not walking up. It's now 21 to 38, just from, like, a lot of... Oh, are we? Don't tell me we can't farm under turret, right? Oh, we fucked the entire thing through that Q. Not exactly. I was concerned about... Yeah, no, we're just missing everything. That's all it is. Granted, Senna is still at a stage in her build where she can realistically be expected to prep for Yasuo. I should be trying to give more constructive advice than we're just missing, shouldn't I? I told us it was going to be like a casual night, right, where I've done a lot today and just kind of want to just check in. Yeah, no. We're just off. We're just off. We're not... Like, look at this creep, too, especially, right? Let's just watch, right? Okay, just barely missed. We easily could have just E'd forward. Like, if we desperately needed to, we can even wind wall some shit. Seraphine doesn't have much threat anymore. Like, we do expect to be stronger than them right now. Like, with Seraphine in this condition. But either way, like, we don't want to throw our cooldowns frivolous, our wind wall frivolously, I guess. I can understand that. Like, where's the harm? Where is the harm genuinely in, like, EQing forwards here for some CS? Hitting Zeri on the way out, E backwards, right? Like, small trades like that. We were taking so many, like, attempted trades earlier that, like, we've just lost all confidence and we're not trying anymore. Like, we have... Senna's in much better condition than Seraphine right now. If Seraphine fires anything right now, right? Yeah, especially with passive shield, too. And so we definitely need to dash forwards here and secure this CS. What are we scared of? Yeah, okay. So it's just we need to work on this. We need to work on this. I've been nervous playing a double rain. Well, that's the problem. Velsies is always nervous. And we just had that mid lane workshop earlier where a bunch of us were in Flannel General. We were going over some mid lane VODs. We were talking about, like, basic concepts and stuff. And Velsies was very accurate, right? Very, very, very accurate in what they said. So, once again, this is very similar to my experience playing VRD. I had zero confidence. Dallas had to keep inspiring me to just unlock my game knowledge and practice using it instead of spending all my mental energy saying I'm dog shit at the game. And, like, if all your mental, and I fucking guarantee you, all of the mental energy in this lane was on, oh, I'm dog shit, I'm missing all my CS or something. And it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, yeah, I mean, like, remember, we have small pools for a reason. The small pools are because we're working on our understanding of each matchups and, like, understanding our limits on the champions that we play. And I understand that we've put Velsies in a position where they've had to play jungle for multiple weeks in a row because our roster's been fucked. But now that we have it stable, this is, like, personal priority number one. Take... okay, we'll take the heal. We'll take the heal. Yeah, but it's just a lot of little mechanical tidbits here. Viego re-ganking, like, or at least exerting pressure onto here. We are 100%, like, we are not recognizing that Seraphine is a completely useless champion in this situation. She is not a champion. 105 mana. That's not a champion. That's an EW or something. That said, I don't mind the recall on Viego here, like, just expecting that we're losing something. They end up pushing it back anyway. We're not going to lose too much. It's fine. But this is catastrophic. This is catastrophic. This is not okay. Back to the rest of the map. No, now that we've established that we just need to work on some Yasuo, like, laning dynamics, right? My memory of it. No, if you're gonna play your fucking off meta, you can't be playing it scared. Yeah. I did turn it around, though. I did turn it around. I'm taking a lot of responsibility on my team nowadays, and you would be proud to know that I am primary shot caller, and I am deliberately making... I mean, I'm owning my bad calls, right? Oh, that's why I look so weird. We're missing a light. Okay. Yeah, like, we're a team who's going to be whipping out these, like, psychotic, aggressive melee mids, right? Or melee AD carries. So, if we're going to be doing that... Okay, yeah, see? We're trying something because we see Diana near. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. We will take that 100%, right? Very nice. Very nicely done. Wait a second. Look at the conditions Zillion's TPing in. Okay, so just catching up with Diana. We are here. We left off, like, roughly around here. Yeah, we left off almost exactly here. I know, it's Heartsteel sets. Was this Yas for the first 5 minutes? Didn't have ult, so was scared, right? So we've got Diana doing Krav because we have, like... And the wave is even in the exact position we want. We want the wave in long lane chase down positions here like this. The wind wall was a little flubbed. It's okay, whatever. Like, Diana has to burn flash to get it, but the outcome is still completely fine. We get so many suns. Zillion TPing in this condition is absolutely hysterical. Meanwhile, Set's being dove here, but outplays the 1v2. So it's just, like, huge win across the entire board. Prisma's getting free plates. Okay, game is blown entirely open. 1 second, I am screen capping this. I am screen capping this like sequence of chat messages and sending it to my Yasuo. Game is blown open. Prisma, you're not necessary here. Your team has everything covered. In fact, I think you have just missed a recall. You have missed a really important recall. If this Zillion were a more aggressive champion, the consequence of missing this recall would be that Zillion is allowed to shove this wave and then start looking top lane or something unlikely to happen. Like, you guys just won so hard on the map that Zillion probably would not be looking for a roam, but... Just your messages about the confidence in the last, like, 2 moments. Right? 2 days wiser. He didn't need to be there, but Jade wanted him there. Yeah, okay, so Jade, that's... I get it. But you guys are fine. You just killed absolutely everybody. You have so much DPS. You've got that, right? You have a damage sub too. Like, it was Diana Yasena. Yeah, Diana with a Nashor's Tooth, or with a dagger going into Nashor's Tooth as well. And actually, this is the actual consequence of that missed recall. This is ultimately what the consequence ended up being. Not a roam, because we're not on a champion that would be, like, generate a roam. But a very favorable Herald play for them, where they actually do get... They barely don't secure 2 plates. We're lucky about that. Right? We're very lucky. We've pinned ourselves completely here. Rumble damage. I didn't even know Viego revived and his, like, missed invisibly, but... Okay. 1 second here, 1 second here. We are going to brain on this play next time, right? We're going to brain on. Okay. 1v2, yes, but look at the condition of your direct lane opponent, right? And what are the consequences of you getting pinned over here? You're stuck in the fight forever, right? So instead, like, you can take a little bit of damage, brawl with this guy who you have a 2-level lead on, brawl with this guy who has, like, 0 HP. I just don't like the pathing, if we're gonna, like, nitpick that. And then I really don't like the re-engage, like... The re-engage after spending our HP on a less favorable trade than we could have had. Okay. Oh! You missed the... I didn't like calling Rumble down to this Drake. You guys won so hard everywhere on the map that it was just unnecessary to bring that resource as well. And it cost you this Herald Slam. I've heard of Seraphine Ultimate. We see what's going on down here. The CS deficit hasn't gotten any worse, so we're happy about that. What happens is we just fire a tornado into Narnia. We ruin everything. I mean, we can gladly disengage this, right? And we're trying to. And then we just fight them again after Zeri ults, right? And then we fight them again after Zeri ults, right? I guess we're trying to stack up the tornado. Go! Get in there! What are we scared of? They blew everything! They blew everything! They blew everything! We have all our CDs! No, don't let them recall after this! No! Don't let them recall from this. Do not let them get away with that. No. Right? Okay, we need to stop firing just completely raw tornadoes like this. We need to be using our mobility, pressuring them. Easier skill shots from closer up, right? Get in their face. Like, dash forward. Like, you can EQ if you really had to, right? Or if you don't have that one, E, just Q from closer. Hit the skill shot more reliably, right? You don't have, like, stuff like that. Butter Jugular, how are you doing? Good to see you again. Glad the ASL community is, growing around here. You can be a Blitzcrank true and based. True and based and real. Well, obviously if the EQ is available, then take it, but... And just scare the shit out of them. I've heard. I keep hearing game too, right? It's fear in not knowing Viego pathing. Understandable, because like our tracking should not be developed yet at this level. And yes, the map is dark, but like, how could we? I mean, were we capable of actually finding out where he went from here? Right? 50, but I want to be in bed at a real hour tonight, though. I want to be up at 8 tomorrow. Don't tell me it's a 50-minute game too. Okay. Okay, Viego last seen here. I mean, we're not going to be able to track where he... Okay, so he just moved towards bot side, right? Viego has moved towards bot side. We can see that. We can ping that. So I suppose in that case, then we're like a little bit nervous. I mean, because again, we can't protect ourselves against the blast cone plays, like, sure. And we are chunked unnecessarily for the play. So, yeah, I get it in that case. That we can be a little bit nervous. I'm probably, like, goading you into some inappropriate trades, like, just because I'm getting a little bit frustrated at the fact that we're playing Yasuo 80 carry and not trying to use our kit to the fullest to, like, actually get in their faces. I mean, because we should expect Viego, like, now in base, just wandering around. Yep. You don't think that we saw the mist in river, but Prisma saw Viego leave lane towards bot. So in that case, we can then criticize us walking up for the initial trade if we want to, like, play that route, right? But I digress. Like, there, okay, now you take it at first opportunity. There is absolutely no possible way Viego can be anywhere near our bot lane. Now we are taking this as soon as we possibly can. It's going to be a neutral wave, right? They are scared of us. They are so scared of us. Please use your dashes. Pushing does nothing here. We cannot kill them if we just push. What's the foundation of this? Right. You can always use pings to mark players. Yes, yes you can. Okay, so I mean, this is also illegal, no? Just... Okay, so I was trying to figure out what situation led to this gank, right? So, ultimately, we have a... Not a freeze. That is not a freeze. Okay, so... We start scrapping. Despite being on top of... And, like, I don't think on Heartsteel set we ever have the damage to actually finish outplaying this. So, I hate this build. I really do. I think it's so much weaker than just, like, normal sets builds. So what's the deal? And I want you guys to tell me if, like... Okay, no. So it is too complex to track the jungler precisely, but it is not too complex to track the side of the map that they're on. Oh, Goredrinker does feel fucking atrocious, but at the very least we can run like Blade of the Ruined King or something, right? We can even go Stridebreaker if we have to, like... We have options, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say this. I was talking about how in IBS we really realistically can't expect our players to track the enemy jungler, right? And we can't. Like, we can't know specific movements and stuff. We can't expect like specific normal paths because like we're seeing like even Jade is doing it too, just wandering around like randomly, right? But we can always know, or almost always know, what side of the map they're on. And even if it's unpredictable, we can tailor our vision to get that information, and when we have that information, one side lane gets to play trading stance, one side lane gets to play farming stance, mid lane knows where to lean, right? We can do that. We can accommodate that. So in that case, even if we don't know the information, it's our number one priority to get that information. What side of the map is Viego on? Where is he? What is he doing? So we're kind of looking here. It's like, is there something to do? Because we realistically have no good camps. Like, it's only Krugs. Like, all our clear efficiency is not incredible. But, okay, Viego seen, right? Viego is guaranteed top side of the map. That should set off alarm bells for Trainer, right? Now, this is unfortunate, and it's like, there's a genuine argument for it's like, just secure the crash at all costs, bully Ornn off, recall or something, but I don't know how much gold we're sitting on, like, it's whatever. Since we are going to be taking farming, or we're going to be taking, farming stance, because, like, we do not want to be in trading stance, we want to be in farming stance, we have no sets on, Viego's on our side of the map, and we know that set with Heartsteel simply does run out of damage. I should never see us walk up to this Ornn. And to Declo's credit, that is a very accurate Senna ultimate from Crossmap. But like we burn his flash, we burn our flash, like it. The outcome's not as bad as it can be. I guess we get like Heartsteel stacks, but it's just the principle of it, you know. So we figured that out at least. We figured out that principle then about like how we can. And 2 ults for yeah. It's like it's okay. It's okay. I just. It demonstrates that we're not very aware of what we're expected to win, right? Because if that were a set later into his builds, by all means take that fight. But we have built nothing but HP at this point. Like we're not doing damage. So, can expect or track jungle side. Non-exact position. Yeah, this is buffed Senna too, isn't it? So we've already talked about this, the Umbral Glaive. This kind of insinuates that we would like Senna more on a utility build. I don't mind it next to the Yasuo. I really don't. It's just we have to be aware of what that means. It is part of the strength, but at least the damage component of it is not consistent at that range. Like, it is such a small skill shot. Sonic X 50-40 moment. We lose our flash. We are definitely trying to collapse on this Zeri, right? We are definitely actually taking this fight now. Oh, beautiful wombo. We just all pressed R. There's 1 damage. Oh, Jesus, Zillion damage. Hang on. Hang on. Why is this guy doing so much damage? Okay, so let's break that one down. Remember, taking inventory for vision, okay? Taking inventory. Now, this one you can justify. This one you can justify. This one you can justify for sure. But you do not yet have the rights to go into their jungle for vision, right? I knew that my friends would be there to help you. Why don't you have the rights? Yasuo's not in a position where he can peel off the wave and like move into here very well. Diana. I mean, Diana does have a blast code and could do this. If you guys were like properly coordinating, sure. But you either don't have the rights or you need to very explicitly take inventory and get on the same page, because you do that when you're making mid-game plays together. You do that when you're going on warding missions together. What resources do you have available? It is just a sloppy start to the fight that could have started so much more effectively, because bot lane needs to confirm their crash if they actually want to secure this Drake, right? So we can just start the fight in better condition because we violated a principle of like deep warding. And yeah, let's see. Feeny goes crazy. Feeny's on Sork Shoes Everfrost. What's the rest of the build? What else is in here? Chief shots. Oh my god, it's just damage Zillion. Or it's like really squishy Yasuo or something. She does, and her shield bow's up too, right? She is on Mythic. I'm just really good farming. Yeah, I'm surprised that Zillion bombs are dealing that much damage. What tools do we have here? No wind wall. I mean, we're short of flash. We're short of. I think if we're all. I guess we can conclude that if we're all melee, it's just if we're all melee without our without our our major cooldowns. Yeah, it's just a Yasuo overchase then. Sagi. It's just a Yasuo overchase. Cause okay, so who do we actually catch in the initial wombo, right? Here comes the wombo. It is 2 with Viego also in the damage. The Rumble ult angle is not ideal. It's a little bit off. And we're a wombo comp who has just used the wombo, and their extended hypercarry DPS is not a part of it. I guess that's problem 1, and then problem 2. Yeah, no, we got a good outcome, and then pushed it. Just feeling ourselves. Okay, so what we should learn from there in-game, at least, what we should try to learn in the middle of the game while we're playing it is, let's try to make sure Zeri is a part of our wombo. And then the other thing is just, as Paradox said, no cooldowns, no anything there. We need to be absolutely terrified of Zeri with our active unless we can pin her down. The only time you don't need to be scared of her is if you have, hard CC. Otherwise, she is always scared. I'm actually... Hold on. I'm writing that down right away. I have a bad habit of, learning something and then... putting something that I knew into words for the first time. And then not writing it down for, absolutely no reason. So that means... Zeri with ult active. Oh, sorry. Zeri should always be. Zeri should always be considered dangerous while in ult and should not be approached without the means to lock her down. Zeri R? No, Zeri R is not on takedown. It's still the same way it always was. It's just not giving her as much crazy stuff. She's not getting as fast as quickly. You're thinking Sivir. You're thinking Sivir's ultimate. Okay, while I was looking away and typing that for Zeri, something happened. Well, some of the timer can't be extended, which is weird. She can keep it going the entire time. Or hold on. No. Some of the effects don't last forever. Some of them do. That's what it is. Some of them don't last forever. Some of them do. I think. That's how it works now, right? Zeri gains 30% attack speed and 10% move speed for 5 seconds. It's the Chain Lightning. Critical strikes. No? I don't know why I'm struggling so much on that. I read that. I understood the champion at one point, but... So, yeah, what's going on here? We have prioritized the Herald while Dragon is active, and so we are not expecting to actually secure this Dragon if they know that we're doing this. Right? Especially with bot lane losing prio, or it's about to go neutral. But... Okay, they're in the pit. Are we in any condition to fight? In terms of health bars and cooldowns, yes. In terms of position, absolutely not. Yasuo is completely isolated from the rest of the team and is just going to have to stand and watch. They are completely spread out. It is dangerous. I have no idea why they're respecting us this hard. What the fuck? Huh? We had no right to win that. No. Look at this. Look at this. I see this. I see this. It's on site, Yasuo. Ornn has to be concerned about Windwall still. But, like, we are very, very, very lucky that they did not realize how disorganized we were on that entry. Because, like, this is not the move. Like, one thing you could do is you could pincer 3 down here, 2 up here, and then, like, the... Or alternatively, you just need to have Diana entering with these two if you're going to be wrapping around like this, and then Yasuo doesn't feel good about being over here, but at least he can R in when something appears. And I'm just surprised they felt this concerned. But okay, we'll take it. What's our decision afterwards? What are we trying to do with our death timers? Get some farm. Someone answers this. Rumble could honestly just sprint up there. We're basing for 1,800 golds. Like, yeah, we could catch this wave, but it's okay. Titanic up. Nashor's up. Buying Jack Show momentarily. I think Diana's actually farming for... I mean, she's not going to be able to full buy it. She is not syncing with this. We're syncing off map, right? I don't know. Don't know how I feel about the Diana just wandering. No. What are we even farming to here? See, my problem with just staying on the map like this is, like, we're not gaining a significantly better buy from staying here, and now we have to recall while our team is ready to be on the map, right? I just don't like it. I like the shift. If you guys are... Okay, I thought a shift was occurring. I would have liked that for sure. So what I mean by that is a major fight breaks out here, right? Since a major fight broke out here, I think it would have been reasonably good for us to shift towards it, right? If we're all allocating our resources towards top lane, we try to play closer to 2 lanes to use our power here. Like, Yasuo can finish this wave if it's completely uncontested. Senna can preemptively move around here, start pushing this. And then even if we lose this fight, it's less likely we'll lose out in terms of waves here. Like, it'll take them longer to take this turret, so they won't be able to get as much, right? But I can also understand... I mean, what's our soul pace right now? 65? We're slow. We're slow. Like, that's okay. So we do notice the TP, right? We have a retaliation TP. I think Rumble should have come down here, to be honest. Yeah, Rumble has no business not helping here. I guess Equalizer's down, but like... When does the TP come up? Did we just notice it late? See, and had we shifted, too, this play doesn't exist. This dude... This Zillion is a maniac! He just fucking loves TPing on, like, 0 HP to impact a fight. We didn't notice it. Okay, that's understandable, then, that we didn't actually make a play in response to it. And I'm not expecting perfect awareness. That would be foolish of me. But it's just another case for learning how to shift, you know. Okay, but top lane's going in our favor. No. Okay, now we TP. I don't really know why, to be honest. Okay, I'm glad you didn't walk through this completely unboarded territory. Granted, you would have just, like, blasted Viego had you found him, so I shouldn't have reacted so viscerally. Because my problem is I learned all of these principles in the context of being a champion who can never 1v1 somebody and will always lose if you just encounter somebody like that. Topspin on set every game you join. Yeah, it's their standard, and it is a very dominant pick at this level of play, and it is his main. So whenever it's let through, it feels good to take it. Okay, we're pushing deep without any knowledge and with a few people off map, so we end up just taking the Rumble ulti to finish the crash, which is kind of based. Go along. How are we setting up our vision? What are we playing to? What's our decision? Remember, we wanted to be making active decisions this week. Did we make active decisions? We have a very good lead. What is our active decision? So it looks like, okay, so that ward tells me we are preferring to set up around our top lane push, maybe with some Baron pressure, like maybe concede the Drake for a Baron rush or something, but now Viego is seen. Easiest. Now we can take whatever the hell we want. So. Set Mord were number 1, 2 for this rank. Yeah, and when Mundo was broken, I think Mundo was actually number 1. But the problem is we made a tier list instead of a lens list. So it's... Yeah. That's a 4-0 set who finally has a defensive item. Diana came up to shadow this. We're recalling to spend the gold. What are we getting now on Diana? Sorks? Are we getting? We're getting Mercs. Okay, I don't mind Mercs. I don't mind them. Maybe we can trust our Yasuo, but I don't mind them. Wait, Senna's actually the best candidate for that buff. That's so funny. Let's see when Diana started to move up to sets. Okay, as soon as the fight broke out, Diana started moving. Which we'll accept, that's okay. Meanwhile, Prisma is doing maintenance on the wave here. We're expecting our... We see a 2v3.
Blue team double kill.
So, what now, right? We know our bot lane is not going to try to take a fight here. Okay, so now they reasonably could try to get a cooldown out, I guess. Nothing's here. We're getting Prio. Big, 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 big. She's not primary engaged, so she can freely build Night Harvester or Proto. It would, on paper, be better for the Wombo. The very, very brief conversation we had on that earlier does say, like, there's a point in favor of Jack Show just because of the raw anti-burst on red team. They are running a Zillion Seraphine. So the way to counteract that would be to make sure one of those champions is, like, caught up in the Wombo as well. No, we wanted blue. I didn't want it. You're the best user of it. In that trio, you're the best user of it. Why would they have it? None of them have mana. Like, I mean, I guess Rumble cooldowns you could argue for. Just give him the haste, but, like... No, I definitely want my Senna spamming Q for mid-Brio. The haste is fine for Rumble, yeah. Until he overheats because he got too much haste. I don't mind you being the person who gets it, right? I think it probably is just better on you. Diana Yaksho. Don't agree with it. I'm again, bruiser itemization is my least studied aspect of itemization. Would it be higher value to... Would it be higher value? Actually, no, there are exactly 2 champions we can get any real Nash's value out of. The only champions who need to die. Yeah, no, actually, I agree. I actually do agree now that I think about it more deeply. I actually do agree now that I think about it more deeply. Well, okay, so... Yeah, and then Diana actually does get the means to start fights while Set's not there because Rocket Belt is present. No, I agree, actually. Just full send it. Be a threat. It doesn't matter that some of your burst will be... like, your burst onto one target may be neutralized as long as you're pressing R properly, right? Yeah, no. That's a very good point. This build only makes sense when you're, like, proper anti-melee. You know, because part of Diana's identity is being, like, a very good anti-melee skirmisher, but... the other part of her identity is just fucking blowing people up. And we're not doing a lot of anti-melee skirmishing on this team. I'm writing that down too. When I capture a genuine insight, I cannot allow myself to forget. I've forgotten way too goddamn many of them. Yeah, because what is your value as a champion on Diana if the enemy team is all ranged squishies and you've opted into attack speed for your stuff? Did I get to try the based IBG Senna build? No, I'm actually not caught up on Senna itemization on this patch. I have not tried it since it made a return. The last time that was relevant, I still preferred Locket to it. So that will be my opinion for right now until I look more deeply into it. We have a Drake setup. They're not getting in. Do we have somebody properly on disengage? It should be Sets. Okay, so no, that's not what disengage and walling people out looks like. That's not remotely what that looks like. Oh, but this is the wombo from the clip, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, is Radiant better Lockets? It really is. It really is. Wombo, dive, aggro, teamfight comp. As long as it is a teamfight comp where you are the initiators, it's good in IBS. So when Radiant got nerfed back down, I wasn't willing to make that opinion because it's like, it's so expensive now, and it's like, well, don't you need some HP to justify it? But then I've been playing tank junglers again who, like, don't really get the income to go, like, anathemas into Radiant or something, and it still feels quite good. It does do a lot more. The stats are better on it. The shield on Locket has been underwhelming for a bit. I am giving you a tentative yes, but know that I am literally checking in on that on, like, Tuesday. Or is it Monday? Oh, shit, my first video on tank itemization has to come out on Monday. No, I gotta check, like, tomorrow. I gotta check tomorrow. I will check tomorrow morning, like, first thing in the morning. You have more income than supports as jungle. Yes, you do, but the point, the learning from that is that the one item Radiant is still a good item to have, right? So, I mean, we have seen Senna with very high Radiant value. We've seen Rel with very high Radiant value. We've seen Swain get Radiant value where he would never get Locket value. I would not blame you for saying Radiant is better Locket with the current state of Locket. I agree. I've been building that too. That's the Rel sauce, for sure. The Zac sauce. Anyway, hold on. What's going on here? Hang on. Wait, what did I just witness? I've been talking about Radiant Virtue. What did I just witness? Yes, the spike is better, but the spike is 700 gold more expensive, which is significant. Yeah, but now it's not the Karma sauce, I don't think. Okay, guys. How do you throw a League of Legends game? You just act out of sequence. Okay. What are you basing for? Is this Borkin base? Okay, so you guys need to make a decision here. It is Borkin base. It is a really fucking late Bork, but I suppose that's allowed. You optimize your control purchases by not buying. So, either fuck your Bork, we're making our invade play together, or stop it. A compelling reason for stop it is that your set is allocated to bot lane. So if you were to invade any quadrant, it should be this one. This one doesn't have anything in it, though. It's not a very strong invade point, right? And even if we are going to make this play, we are certainly, even if we can get away with it, which ultimately it looks like we can, like look, if the play is just, I want to ward here, and I want to pull the chickens out and farm them over here and escape, I would be okay with it. That would be fine. Prisma is making a brain off, and I'm supposed to say brain off, right? I'm supposed to say brain off whenever possible. No! This is your autopilots. No! You're confused why it's a Bork over BT. At this point in the game, it shouldn't be. Yone Bork Rush is compelling. I guess they did start pivoting into something recently, didn't they? There's some sauce there, too. I'm out of the loop on everything. I've been learning. Prisma did, in fact, say he was brain off. Well, I agree. We gave the one champion on their team who really matters 550 gold. That's no good. Oh, you view it for Yone, Bork, solo queue, shield bow comp? No. Not necessarily. Bork actually gives you the tools to be a proper skirmisher, too. Especially since it usually is Bork shield bow, right? Going shield bow, like, pure crit, actually makes you more of just a raw assassin on Yone. Besides, in some cases, there's also the option to go, like, Berserkers, Bork, Zeal, IBG, right? Shield bow is survivability. And you're right. You are right. We're just giving trainer away. What are we tanking for? This is just slop. This is just sloppy, though. Like, oh, stop making me crunch numbers. It's moving fast, okay? Everything's changing. And I have to learn gameplay instead of just systems, guys. Okay, but we can do whatever we want because Zeri's dead. And this is the end of the game, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, good job. Congratulations. Let's go watch this, like, 50-minute banger, shall we? Oh, yeah. Yep. Here's the draft. Okay. What happens here? We commit the same bans. They end up banning Set Yasuo. They don't want us to have that again. They B1 Amumu. Okay, very dominant champion in IBS, especially, right? Very dominant jungler for IBS. We retaliate with a Jarvan Rumble combo. So we are actually, we're developing into another wombo on a combo rotation, taking a very dominant pick, but it's at the cost of this. And look, they're doing the exact same thing. Orianna in response, it's a matchup that, like, you know, we can win it, right? We can win it with some jungle intervention and just by, like, solid play. And then they end up taking a blind Nami, which is probably supposed to interrupt, like, whatever combo we have coming. Rakan, just for our own, like, Rakan is our secondary initiator, synergizes with the Jarvan. I like what you guys have built so far, right? R4 is Xayah. Okay. R4 is Xayah. Okay. So, trying to figure out how I want to approach this. In theoretical play, you guys are trolling. In IBS, like, because the problem is, Xayah should simply not be blind picked. Like, okay, so you can expect them to be moving kind of into a wombo-ish direction, but the problem is they don't have to commit to that. They can pivot off just their Amumu Orianna. And then they can splash Orianna into a comp that just outranges and, like, beats you down that way. And then Amumu can just simply be an initiator, right? You don't have the right to develop that way yet. Yeah, so here's the problem that I have with that pick, right? Yes, Xayah is busted. She is a very good champion right now, but she's a shotgun. She is strong because she's just a shotgun. You run into her and you die. The pivots available to them do not run into her. She doesn't play nicely with your wombo so far. They have banned Samira Misfortune. Honestly, they should have let you have Samira and then just killed you, but alas. Remember how we're supposed to keep our pools small because we're silver players? And we want to, like, just... Xayah's not on the list. Xayah is not on the list. If Kai'Sa... I don't remember if Kai'Sa's on the list. You could have had a decent Kai'Sa angle, and I'd have been okay with that because Kai'Sa can play into more lanes, right? I'm trying to look and see, like, what my recommendation would have been. Kai'Sa is not. Okay, lovely. Yasuo's gone. They banned Samira. They banned Misfortune, which are all very good bans. Samira's gone. Samira's banned right here, right? And so, I mean, I don't really want to play Neela into fucking Amumu. The only one? Oh, because you have banned... Actually, because there was a change in bans here. Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. And we can't really... Traditional knowledge would say don't blind Neela, but at least in IBS it would be a better blind than Xayah, who is a control champ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, there's number 6, and Neela's number 7. Technically, that does mean that Jhin was available for us, and that would have been okay. But then, like... But then you guys just fucked your ban strategy. Like, you can see that, right? You guys fucked your pick ban. But we said no to Jhin. So the reason we fucked our pick ban is because we should always have something we can play with 7 champions in pool. If everyone has 7 champions in pool, we should always have something to play. And technically we did, but we banned out our only, like, fine options. You guys can play Lucian Rakan and it would be an okay duo, right? If you were so concerned about that, why not grab it yourselves away from the Nami? If you were concerned about that duo coming out. Jhin would not have been amazing in the sense that you have to punch through these tanks, and especially once Ornn came out, it would have been kind of problematic. But if you guys were going to pick a physical carry anyway, topside, then you could probably find some justification around it in IBS, right? Like, I understand why we rejected Jhin, but at this point, after we've made these decisions, beggars can't be choosers. And if beggars can't be choosers, like, just fucking grab the Neela, guys. Like, is it bad you don't hate Jinx here? No, it's not bad, but we are not going to pick Jinx. Because, again, we're not expecting our silver players to have champion pools, like, the size of, like, Africa. So... I think Jinx could have survived here, and she could have contributed meaningfully to the wombo with Rocket, but... like, ultimately, don't let them do this. The other alternative is just grab AD on 3 here, and then, like, pair it with... And then, like, maybe Deklo is more capable of eating the bans. We would have to figure that out. I will check in with that off stream a little more. But... I mean, because technically I did just leak most of our fucking AD carry pool, but whatever. If you guys want to change it at any point, be my guest. End of the day, we're committed to a style, too. So, like, I kind of don't even hate just picking it. Like, we've tailored our pools to be good at one style of play, right? So, just commit. Just commit, I guess, if we've made these mistakes. Aphelios at IB. So that's my criticism of this draft. It is, like... Wombo versus Wombo are, like, they're just running, like, Ornamumu Oriana. You guys are running, like, Rumble Jarvan Rakan. So... And then we just end up with, like, a carry Garen at the top. The carry Garen can be enabled by the other tools we have at our disposal. That's all well and good. I just fucking hate the Xayah on this spot. It's just... It's such a bad Xayah here. So yeah, our philosophy from this point on... Our philosophy would be, do not expect yourselves to be able to play everything. You can't. And that's okay. Just don't ban yourselves into a corner, and if you do, you will always have one champion on your list and just pick it. Like, we're gonna see how that works out, right? We're gonna... We're gonna see how that works out. So many people blind Xayah. I know, and I hate it. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. It's such an appalling pick. Like... We shouldn't dislike Xayah as a whole, because the champion is excellent. And they get Yeah, alright, but besides that hiccup, we at least have something, like, reasonably playable, right? Reasonably playable. Let's speed through this. Oh, God. I'm... We're just bullying. That's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Okay. So I am told that follow your advice for weird subs. Go try the base Glacial Nico sub. That's like, I mean, I love Nico support. I probably will play it at some point. I'm a little bit on the Annie train on my alt account. Just testing things out, seeing how it works. 10k. 10k is what I'm told.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
L on us. Okay, so the important thing. Okay, may I guess? May I guess that it's just a brain off, lack of taking inventory thing, sort of thing? Like, nobody is letting me play any sub because it's permad. Yeah. Okay, Jarvan, blue side start, which is going to mandate a blue Gromp Wolves into, like, full freedom of here, presumably red, and then just start looking, right? I can't believe we live in a world where we're allowed to say that again after, like, 8 years. Any support is broken. Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that. Okay, Garen's one push. Rumble's one push. So I would not hate. Wait, hang on. Did we actually check where Amumu started? They tried to hide it a bit. Wait, you guys didn't spend anything either. Wow, they actually hit it quite well. I've never seen a fake leash actually look compelling. But nobody spent anything on the leash. Okay, so technically we don't know where Amumu started, so my... Unfortunately, we just don't get that. 7 ranked games? Yeah, have fun. Chunkler doesn't deserve my mana. Based. Dude, I was playing a Xerath Annie lane the other day. We just gave our jungler only mage auto attacks. Yeah, he did. I can know that from spectator view. It's just my team can't be reasonably expected to know for sure right now. So, in that case, Jarvan would not be taking, like, blue Gromp Wolves into red into invade the Amumu who has, like, 0 HP because he's Amumu. Right? I was just looking for any opportunity for Jarvan to not have a full clear. Like I do personally think you can just improve access to your options as Jarvan right now by starting blue, red, and then go into your camps here, but the full clear doesn't end up being a problem here. I heard you guys were talking to Feeny the other day, like Prisma and Feeny were just like chatting after the matches. I love hearing that. Like the amateur community has gotten much less toxic if that's happening. I'm very happy about that. J4 can also 3-camp gank bot. Are you really gonna fucking take it? Like, okay, but Mark, there's no possible angle other than blue Gromp Wolves into loop around here into bots, which is awkward as hell. Like, we'll check the state of it. But no, because his bot lane has achieved push as well, so that's not an that's not a legitimate option either. Or at least not a consistent option I would recommend for my players who are trying to learn consistency, right? There's just no obvious tells for a gank being available bot lane. AFK bush for 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that seems like a good idea when you're 3 camping and need to pass up the top quadrant. That said, I don't really get pathing to Garen Ornn. I don't really understand that decision. Malray. I guess we're still anxious about where Amumu is because we still haven't found him. We still don't know where he started here. I'm still just watching my Jarvan. Oops. Okay, let's speed this up. We have a lot to get through, so... Okay. Minor criticism on the way we're leaning, because we could have been exposed to a lot more from that, but... Good response to it, just pathing towards your jungler. Do good. Oh, we literally just saw him, then I'm stupid as fuck, so yeah, go, go. Sorry, my brain's tired, again, as always. It's late. I do my best work in the morning. So we end up with a really, like, an ideal base for Jarvan. We end up with a full, like, 1100 gold for Iron Spike. We end up pathing back here. Oh, hang on. What are we looking at? What do we see that's causing us to delay our camps? Enemy camps? Oh, we see them. We're going long. I actually like this. No, I actually like this. We kind of flub it. We do flub it a little bit. But I do actually like this decision to skip camps, seeing that they have a small push. And, like, this actually can be a reasonably exposed lane. Like, seeing that they're likely to push, that your bot lane, you can communicate with your bot lane to kind of concede some of the push, keep it thinned. Oh, yeah, 2 flashes, but it is slightly botched because I think this should result in a kill. All right. Yeah, it's just a hasty EQ, and maybe there could have been an EQ flash. I'm not going to nitpick that one. None of the CC lands is the issue. Oh, and we pull a move down. Oh, because he's been power farming the whole time. No, it's actually just genuinely intelligent pathing here, so. Well done. It is expensive on time. Right? Like, the cost of... Because, let me just point out, like, a couple of little things here, right? So, look. It is expensive on time, and you do fall further behind than you should have by doing it, but it was still a good decision. So... Realistically, you should see your 1100, like you have 1086, you should see your 1100 and you should not give a shit about this gromp at all. You should be recalling on the spot, right? That's a small optimizer. I'm giving you these optimizations because you can handle them. Because you're most likely to be ranking out of the ASL fastest, right? This is not something you should pretty much ever path to, because what your bot lane is doing is confirming their crash. Unless you are confident you can dive this, which at level 3... dangerous, high risk. Unless you're very confident you should dive this, you should not even be looking at this. This is not a gankable position, it's a diveable position. So we check that wave, nothing, recall. You have the consequence of you wasting this time here snowballs into all of this, right? So you recall. Now they're pushing back. You skip camps because they're pushing back. And because you want to bypass all of their vision. That part is smart. But technically unnecessary, because what existed without that play is an instantaneous recall into Gromp, into just doing what you did. The timing is the same. And so you would have been up one camp with better timing. A Mumu wouldn't have as much of an XP advantage over you. That's just the efficiency thing that we're looking for. The next step, Jade, because I think you can handle it. Either you become like a core leader for the team and are responsible for getting us to take inventory of all of our plays, or alternatively, if you don't want to take that responsibility and just want to improve your individual skills like that, then you start trying to read lane states like that. It is not an expectation that you're at that level. It is absolutely not. But that's the next step. I'm just pointing out some inefficiencies here. So. But we have an actual fucking, like, tremendously unbased outcome to the game. So let's just... We have a solo kill. We're not going to look too much at that. We're just going to speed through some things until we see something negative. We see something negative. Okay, do we have visual on a Mumu? Do we have any idea of where a Mumu is in the area? Okay. This is just this is for now going to be the same concepts, like. And this is our Rumble ult recall, right? We're not staying. Trainer XD. We're gonna really just try to refine that jungle tracking thing. Kill, we burn. Actually, did we just lose? Did we just lose Jarvanal to Ornn E? Yeah. Bit of an inefficient gank there to go on a full health tank. A full health tank without any setup from your lanes. Okay, we'll play Prisma. We have an extremely oppressive mid lane lead. Our Xayah is actually strong despite everything else that's happened. We have a scuffed Herald fight brewing up there, which didn't end up becoming anything. We backed away from it. Good, that's fine. I know, it's kind of all over the place, but we're just going to let this phase be, and we're going to wait for that. The delayed EQ, learning from the previous gank, good. The invade with resources around is good, knowing Orianna is chunked. Good, 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 good. We find a catch, we find another catch. Is our flash worth it? I guess we have some protection. Yeah, we're fine, we're fine. I mean, at this speed, our rotations look fine. We're, like, taking fights we can win. This is fantastic. So how do we throw this? How do we possibly throw this, guys? Not fond of that Herald usage on, like, a 0 HP mid-tier 1. Is this... It is Hex Drinker. And the pride cometh before the fall! Rumble! Diving a tier 2 turret with no available resources on the map and no vision. What the fuck are we doing here? You think, okay, your ult's coming up, sure, but like... Why did you have to go behind the turret to say... Alright, whatever. Declo trying to save, but we realized it. I appreciate you backing out there. Good job. Good job not helping. But 550 to Jhin is not a good outcome. The brain rot has started seeping in. Okay. It also occurs immediately before a Drake. And it looks like this may stunt our Drake stacking. So let's see what the outcome of this is. Garrett is preventing Ornn from TPing, at least, so they are relying entirely on a Mumu Ori, which is fine. Prisma does have TP if we can hold off long enough, and I would recommend TPing here to bot lane. Wait. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, we rotated our Garrett and allowed Ornn to TP in. This is solved by waiting. This is solved by waiting. We shouldn't be posturing for the fight until we have our Rumble. And, like, if we have TP disadvantage, this is... Either Garen has to continuously prevent Ornn from moving, or we can't be posturing during Garen's move, right? And so our dragon stacking gets interrupted. Everybody's bounties get claimed. Oh, no. It actually is bad that Nami got one of them, for the record. That actually is a problem. Oh, jeez. Okay, so yes, beginning of the end. But it's obviously not doomed yet, because we're still in a favorable position. We just have to learn how to respect our opponents from here, right? You're telling me this game goes another 30 minutes from this point? Coordination check says that this is fucking ridiculous with your Jarvan on bot side, but... No, coordination check doesn't say that, actually. Hang on, because we know they just definitely recalled after their Drake, right? Yeah, no, they did. You can know that for sure. You can know that for sure. I was just looking at the position without the context. It's my bad. It ends up being a pick onto Ornn. Okay, so now Jarvan needs to get himself on the map ASAP, so... Towards mid, right? Okay, so it's an... You guys did the right thing with Jarvan moving towards bot lane, which is to just back off and start playing towards those lanes instead, but at the same time, Barret is now up. And so I don't know how I feel about playing bot per se, especially since you just... Like, you guys just established all your vision topside and then tried to move in bot, and somehow you're strong enough to get away with it. But then after doing that and losing your setup here, you move back towards the Baron. And you... No. We have a recall happening here. We have a support solo bot lane. Like, we don't walk in there as a Jarvan. We're not a 1v9 like Carriage Champ. Even that one I'm a little bit concerned about, but if you were absolutely confident you had time to burst and leave, then sure. This is the worst lane assignment. I really don't like this lane assignment. We have a Rumble who can do this job. We have a Garen who could do this job. I would prefer Rumble because he's the one with TP, but... Ah, jeez. Okay, and then, while our Rakan is doing this job, our top laner is hitting a turret without mid-shove while our Rumble's in base. Oh, wait, hang on. That was a visual bug. No, he wasn't in base. He was just... What the fuck? Yeah, so if our... We shouldn't get locked... It's better to have you here than no one. Well, like, truthfully, I kind of disagree. We can give Orianna a tier 1 even with objective bounties as long as your presence accomplishes something else here, and it is just Prisma's fault for not being there, right? Okay, so how the hell does that happen? Don't you dare start. Okay, so trainer, you have no teammates here. And that gives Baron, doesn't it? Yeah, no, if Declo, tier 1 bot turret is a very low value objective. If you guys screw up and give it, and your options are support is a lane assignment here to defend this, or you are grouped with the team, the tier 1 doesn't matter. Tier 2 is when we're concerned, because that's worth a lot of gold, like 850. Tier 3... Tier 3 can be justifiably lost if and only if somebody can always kill anybody attempting to take the inhib without turret intervention. But the 1 doesn't matter very much. Not here. Okay, so Orianna's gigantic. She has made some outstanding plays this game. And they've come off the back of us just rushing things. We are just rushing. We're just rushing. Rushing, 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 rushing. Now, I do like that it's Prisma up here, even though it puts Garen in a slightly harder position in his, like, direct matchup. Because if you're going to contest the Drake and you have to answer all of these simultaneous pushes, then having the one with TP away from the Drake is correct. You're good. The game is technically still not lost because we still have a gold advantage, but it's hard to play out here. That was very disrespectful. That was... Okay, we're conceding the Drake now. And... Okay, so, like... Okay, if you can bring Xayah in, I can see the argument for taking this fight, but it looks like you're just trying to leave, or... Oh, wait, no, hang on. How long has Ornn been there? What the fuck? Did we miss a TV somewhere? Yeah. Oh, hold on, hold on. I did because I'm in Red Fog of War, and Red Fog of War bugs every TP. Okay, we know this is here. That's why we're disengaging. I mean, early EQ out, no? Just before the Nami ult's even close, just EQ here. That's just messy, mechanically. Okay, 2 dead again. Rumble would be correct to push this out. Xayah ends up being forced into a long way. Rumble could have matched TPs, but the start of the fight would have been bad, and, like, we never hadn't... Like, we already lost one of our members here, and we're not super confident that we're much, much stronger. Like, it is just brain off moments from everybody. You guys are smart enough to check in on each other, especially if that's, like, our dominant goal. You guys are absolutely capable of doing that. It's not even really a mental stack issue. It's just an autopilot thing. You can't have, you won't have trouble with your mental stack just talking to each other about what you want to do next and making sure you can do it. So what are lane assignments? Okay, we still have, like, we're still in an okay spot, but now, like, the cracks are starting to show, because in terms of items, we're actually not ahead. The only advantage we have is Garen over Ornn in terms of items, and that's not super compelling at this point. Okay, I do like the cheese brush. I do like the cheese brush idea, but the execution was awful. Because what are our damage dealers doing way the hell back here? Completely decent. Like, it's a play made by half the team with no real follow-up. The idea was actually good. You guys just... Because, like, what did you guys do? Did you guys just take their camps? Yeah. So you can actually predict with, like, nothing on the map to do, maybe somebody's going to greed for these raptors. So it's really not a bad look, especially since nobody has to be here right away. Like, Orianna is conspicuously missing, so you can detect shenanigans or you can detect a recall, right? But either you make it with damage behind you, like, or you don't make any at all. Like, yeah, okay. Do I even have to watch the end of this game, guys? Like, is this just going to keep happening? Is this the story of the game? Can you guys... Yeah, I'll maybe even go back and listen to the comms in that one. We do bring it back at 1 moment. Okay. We will speed it up and just kind of like... We're not going to really... Okay, so... We are so late at responding to side lanes, too. Like... Okay, we are all present for this, at the very least. It's like... It's not a formal setup or anything, but, like, everybody's here, and we're trying... And we see them... We don't see them moving. They're just trading Baron for it, which is smart by them. And we're running it... Oh, okay. Hey, we're not sending our Rumble deeper into the fight after we've secured Baron, right? Ah, he gets out at least. I've never seen a Garen ult fully eaten by Orisha. You had no idea she didn't have cooldowns. You had no idea that ult was used. Is anybody from Blue Team still in chat? Do we still have an SG Antimatter representative in chat? Because I have some urgent news for your Nami. No, Mortal's changed. This is 13-4. I have some urgent news for your Nami. Yeah, this okay. I mean, everyone in my chat knows my take that I think Ardent Sensor in current state is legitimately one of the worst items in the game. But to build it next to a Jhin is a problem. So... Okay, so we're gonna be like, we're gonna check our Mikhails. They have a tremendous CC chain. What are we trying to cleanse? Probably a Mumu ult, maybe a Jhin W. We have options as long as we're keeping those ones in mind, right? Yuumi is an Ardent. Yep, Yuumi is an Ardent. Hey, wait, did we just... What's our vision situation looking like? Would prefer that we're trying to kite that out as much as possible, but it's also not a play made together and just caught again. It's just caught again. It's caught again. Guys! Okay, so I understand completely why we got tilted off of this. I totally understand why we got tilted. But this game should be a wake-up call to talk to each other. It really does. It really does. You guys had such I don't understand how we went from like I really don't understand how we went from like genuinely rotating our resources around the map quite well, making invades with good pushes, good coordination, like all of that, into this, where we just, like, where one moment of Rumble getting caught out just causes everybody to, like, completely fall apart. You were optimistic until middle of game 3. Like you guys should be proud of yourselves for gaining that advantage in the first place. But, like, you are capable of playing. I'm not even going to say you should be capable of closing that out. You are capable of closing that out. That's the frustrating part. But the fight now opens with, like, fucking face checking a death rush. And now we can't approach it. And, like, SG, you guys know SG Antimatter is a very good team in the league, right? You guys know they're undefeated. Like, we don't get sloppy against them. Because they realized after their last game, oh shit, we can't play those, like, single carry comps. Let's just go back to the wombo that's really good in IBS. And they did. And you guys got... Wait, Declan knew about the death rush, but didn't say anything? Oh. Oh no, he knew SG was good. Oh, but didn't tell you. He didn't tell you these guys were, like, really good. Oh, so you wouldn't psych them out. So you wouldn't psych each other. Okay, but here's the thing. When you go into a competition, you have to be honest about your placement somewhere. Because being cocky and overestimating your skill causes you to lose. Understanding that you are the underdog, like, to a healthy degree and giving it your all can actually be fine, right? Like... Like, if you go, you have to give teams that are weaker than you respect, but not too much respect. And you have, in a different way, you have to give teams that are better than you respect, but not too much respect. Like, your team very heavily underestimated. I mean, I don't even care that you pulled it back at this point. Like, not to be rude to you guys. Like, I'm not trying to tear you down, obviously. And this is presumably it, right? When we're actually able to kind of press R on each other. Yeah, good job. Good job. We actually did find something, kind of. We got some shutdowns. Also, who had the audacity to say it was only Jhin carrying? Sociopath Soul played very well, but, like, their whole team is playing fine. Jhin 1v9. Disrespecting your opponents, you motherfuckers. Like, we are not the type of team to disrespect their opponents. We do not flame them in banter chats. We do not go in and expect everyone is dog shit. Right. Like the last 5 minutes. Okay. And now it's just a 40-minute soul fight. Oh god, but it starts out with a... There's a Rumble ultimate in the Jarvan cage. It's going okay, but we just spent all cooldowns and Jhin is untouched. Okay, fortunately, a mistake occurred. Okay, we actually do secure Soul, and there's still, we secure Baron. What now? What now? This is when you brought it back, right? What could possibly occur now? So you decide, okay, so Declo's a little out of sync with everybody else. I think the ARAM is, like, okay when you look at these waves. Like, this is pushing for us, this is not, but, the ARAM's, like, okay. No, actually, the waves aren't synced or anything. No one's answering these. Nah, never mind, ARAM's not okay. Send Garen. Send Garen top. Change my mind. ARAM's only okay if, like, they have to... let me find actual words for that later. But just pick a lane, go to it, set it up, sync your waves, stay out of the wave so they don't get Baron until you're ready. Slow push this. We haven't taught you syncing waves yet, that's okay. Props to Rakan vision score. True. Wait, what? What did we just... What? What did we just base for? What? What? He didn't even refresh his elixir. Guys, trainer! Trainer! They referred to you saying not to push 3 waves at once when relatively even. Perfect. So you guys are trying to play 2 waves, right? That's good. That's fine. That's well and good. But, like, it's okay. It's okay to do a little... Look, when it's shallow, it's okay to do maintenance on 3 and then move it to 2, right? And shift and play to a quadrant, right? Like, it might have been him doing that. Maybe. Perhaps. But, like, okay, so you guys went to both sides, and it would have been completely fine for Garen to just walk and rejoin his team. And it would have been completely fine for... Actually, probably the best case in this position would be Garen takes over mid, the rest of you shifts towards bot, like, take this quadrant or something. It might have been in reference to that, and we might... If it's just... That's fine. You guys are trying to learn a principle that we just taught you, and if you just bungled it, like, a little bit in the execution, we can live with that. If that's why it happened, sure, but... But now Jarvan has based desynced from Garen, so we're really blowing through our entire Baron buff. I know, it's just sloppy. That's all it is. It's just sloppy. Okay, so we're in an ARAM state again, but we don't have champions that can hit the weight. Yeah, actually, our team is fucking awful. Our team is fucking awful at ARAMing. We have one ranged champ, and it's Xayah. Go to a side lane, please. Prisma's doing it. I would really prefer that. No, now Xayah's recalling. Oh. Oh. Okay, we gotta talk about our Barons then. We gotta develop some Baron principles. Need Baron playbook. We need to develop you guys a Baron playbook. Once you have the Baron, what do you do with it? It's all gone now, isn't it? I'm glad we actually did commit to watching the rest of it, though, because now they're... If I had stopped watching it, then we would have missed something that you guys need some help on. So it would have been sloppy of me. But... Fudge. Okay, so... Trainer has like 13 quintillion CS. Like, he is strong. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. Oh, wait, now I know why we were asking about Mortal. Because this is Mortal with no attack speed, but Garen still built it. I see the problem. I see why we brought it up. My bad for... We have an Elder spawning. What vision do we have on the way out? This ward gets clipped by the wall and cannot see very well. Ideally, we would have been able to find a rock ward instead, but... That's okay. Yeah, well, you guys shouldn't be micromanaging each other's builds. Okay, really sloppy wombo initiation. But we have some carries who are still going very strong. Zaya's gonna die. Ah, now I see why we're giving props to Jin. Yeah. One more watch through of that fight. Trainer gets jumps. They all commit inwards. We have our team here. It's actually really funny how the Orianna ends up getting caught there just by the fork of, like, Rakan W, Jarvan R, but it ends up meaning that our wombo tools get used on effectively one shot. How did Deklo's shift miss? Like, how did it not? Whoa, we actually just missed the charm. Damn it. Oh, also, skill order thing. We don't value the Q damage. Yeah, we should not be valuing the Q damage that much. 8 Beavercon does, yeah, he does. But he also gets like plenty of damage from the ratio itself, right? Wouldn't we rather the equal them? I just have to watch what happened with Rakan. R's not active! R's not active! Oh! Yeah, this is 8-second cooldown, right? You have 50% CDR. You could have this on 6-second cooldown, and then 6-second cooldown synced with your W. Yeah, if you were Emax, you have W and E completely synced. Do you see the value of that? Right. Prisma, thank you so much for the tier 1. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy or welcome back to the Quindicate. Okay, bye-bye. We're watching game 2, so dies of cringe, right? And we end up just solo ulting the Amumu afterwards. Yeah, it's just... On our Wombo, our ultimates just end up... Well, I guess it does hit Nami eventually, but... We do fork the Orianna, and it's really cool, but our ultimates just end up being used on too few people. That's what happens. Because I think Deklo could have actually set this fight up as, like, a hard stomp. Unfortunately, that's not the outcome. Well, it depends on if he could have caught Jin, too. Like, the spacing was weird. And are we about to just watch, like... Oh, yeah, something bad is about to happen because the enemy starts Drake. We have our ultimates. How do we manage this? Prisma does not need to be hiding. Yeah, it's... It R move speed because you are late. That okay, yeah. Then that's. But there's no follow up regardless. I don't think. Tragic. Tragic. It's a tragedy. Okay. And that's the end of the game. The 50-minute banger is over. We did throw a 10k gold lead, but we threw it early. We threw it really early. Guys, I would like to go to bed very soon. It's 11 o'clock. I'd like to kind of like cut out my blue light, reduce my screen time, stuff like that. But I will. Oh, I will give you the third game. I will give you that third. And I definitely don't like what I'm seeing in our draft. So, I'll be right back. Okay. SG and Corki are kind of goading. Oh, yeah, I heard my mid laner complaining so much about the Corki. Okay, so, guys. What's going on here? Why are we, as a team who has played almost exclusively dive and wombo 80 carries, B1ing Caitlyn? This is completely against all IBS draft principles that we are supposed to be testing. We are supposed to be seeing if you can improve the odds of success of an IBS team by drafting as though matchups aren't real, to a degree, and by drafting like from a tiny pool of champions, like just enough to not get banned out, and by always having initiators, right? This is not a part of our pool. In fact, you can argue now that like current state Caitlyn is not the purest form of aggro champ anymore. So the execution required to play Caitlyn well is not as high. But like Caitlyn is also devalued at this level, regardless of how broken she is. And it is not something we have ever played together. So it's a little strange. Ezreal Nami comes out, which fortunately for us is not the best answer because Nami's not going to be contesting the wave very hard against Caitlyn because Ezreal's wave clear is notoriously poor. So fortunately for us, we may still be able to do something with that. And we are prioritizing, we want the Rumble back, and we are prioritizing an early Volibear. So we're getting that comfort for Prisma, and we are getting a pick that can drive the game forwards and who can kind of be our initiator, even if he is going to fall off through the game. Now, I don't know if IBS Volibear falls off in the context of team fights, but if he does, then we are a little bit afraid of picking this champion. And that's that. We ended up banning a Mumu. We banned Zeri. We banned Janna. So it still does down here. Then, yeah. Then this pick doesn't work because we can't play aggro comps. We are not expected to play... Wait, you guys drafted fucking pure proper aggro rather than team fight. What are we doing? You don't draft control comps. You don't draft aggro comps. You draft only team fight archetypes. Front to back, flank, dive... Bait and punish, not bait and punish, what the hell am I saying? Front to back, flank, dive, wombo, single target blow up, and what's the sixth? Why am I forgetting this? Front to back, flank, dive, wombo, single target blow up. Oh, Hypercarry Enchanter, but we're not playing Hypercarry Enchanter. We're not, so only those 5. Why did I forget Hypercarry Enchanter? Because it's control leaning, that's why I forgot. That's the one where the Hypercarry becomes the playmaker, right? Yeah, you guys are not playing that. We're not playing that. So we drafted fucking hard like bot lane aggro. Like this is a tempo comp. We have a tempo comp. Do we want a tempo comp? No. No, we don't, because we're not stable. So they end up building like arguably Siege, right? We ban Shen, we ban Fiora. Again, haven't checked the scouting doc, so you do you. They are taking away Kled, they are taking away Lux as the Caitlyn partner. They go for the Ornn that we've seen again. We pick a Mundo. Set is not available still. Is there really nothing that can, like... I mean, like, I mean, he is just a stable Juggernaut. He's good into... I guess I have no issue with Mundo here. Yeah, you know, I have no issue with Mundo here, really. It's fine. And I do like the Ashe. It will win our bot lane for us now that we're committed to this style of play. And it is a secondary initiator, which is valuable for us because, like, we... this is a much higher complexity comp than it should be. And I would always favor, like, SG Antimatter here, even though they are running a more complex, like, hybrid Siege. Yeah, because it's just actual Siege core with double initiator. Yeah, it's not that hard to play this kind of hybrid Siege. So, yeah, we are not in a good position. We are not set up for success, and I need us to be a lot more careful about, like, drafting outside of our comfort zone, because it should not happen. Maybe we need to have a conversation and discover, like, proper IBSB1s, like, because, again, we're really only looking for contested picks, but let's speed through this one. How fast does this go to shit? And again, I know I'm sounding grumpy at this point. I'm not mad at you guys. I'm obviously not. We're trying to learn and grow and improve, and that's a good thing. Oh, shit. How did you guys... whatever. It's went to 40 minutes. 5 point is off. We have no knowledge if they're invading here. It could loop around, could hide anywhere. They could go all the way around here and, like, surprise us. We are pathing to bot, and I like seeing that. This game. I'm just a Volibear hater in general, but I'm not supposed to introduce my biases to this. Nami flash down level 1, big deal for actually winning lane. Did we get to check where Vi started? Did we get to know? We're going leashless blue for Prio. Which, fair, I guess Mundo does have fewer shove tools. Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, very clearly topside leash then, right? Ornn showed up so much later than this bot lane. So it is a clear topside leash. Yeah, let's lose our lanes to fake leash. Woo! Oh, and she was seen on... Well, being seen on Raptors really early doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay here because there's the base and trinket and stuff, but... Okay, so we know where Vi is, and we have Volibear pathing down towards the same side, and at the very least, if we're going to play to our champion strengths, we can use Volibear to beat up Vi. So I don't like this, and here's why. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, it is wrong. So you are playing a bot lane that needs its push to function. And because they are pushing, you think, sweet, I have a lane with prio, and I can play off of that, and they can play for me, right? And you can actually just go straight to this crab and trust that your bot lane will be stronger and able to help you, and you will be individually stronger than Vi too. But instead of doing that, even knowing she's here, you choose to let her just do whatever she wants. You choose to not contest her. You are stronger. And by not contesting her, you not only give her resources that she shouldn't, but you're also presumably calling for your bot lane to concede their push that they need to function, while sapping their XP, while not farming your Krugs, to just wait for this opportunity to get a kill, and it ends up sacking Prisma. When had you contested, you are 2v2ing this and you were never losing it. And Prisma should never be leaning there! Having known that Vi just went back down there. So while the skip camp play here in the last game was heads up and smart, this one was just not based on any real value, and Vi should not have been able to have positive impact here. Because if we're going to play an aggro comp, which we shouldn't be, we need to be efficient. But I'm not expecting us to be efficient because we're IBS players, so the aggro comp shouldn't happen. But like, that's an aside. We're using what we have. If we're going to pick an aggro comp, I'm going to judge you as though you're picking. I am informing myself for one moment, just in case something has changed with Volibear that I've not been made aware of. And no, nothing has changed about Volibear that I've not been made aware. Wait, hang on. Maybe something has changed on Volibear that I've not been made aware of. Stat sites 30 days. Are we really? Huh. Okay, I apologize then. I suppose top lane volley is the only W maxer. And that we do actually kind of value the QMS on ganks. Okay, I apologize. I'll live with it for now because my volley experience is lacking because I hate this champion. But if that is a known thing for specifically jungle, that's okay. Okay, now that Volibear has achieved a couple of kills, I do think it's kind of funny, yeah. Okay, let's speed it up. I gotta get in bed. I gotta get a book going. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to wake up grumpy. And if I wake up grumpy, I'm going to have, like, my entire day thrown off. I have a lot of stuff to do. Vi was just seen... Wait, was she just seen? Hang on. Yeah, Vi was just... Wait, what? Yeah, she was. Okay, so we know what side of the map Vi is on. Now, Trainer doesn't need to default to farming stance if Volibear is going to help, but because, like, we don't want to trade in the wave anyway, so if he's correct for that, we're all good. Okay, we have a solo kill. We have Vi shown bot side. Our bot lane is pushing. Obligatory, like, it's a mandatory push. It's an obligate push. They are locked into it. I would be flaming the fuck out of like a Platinum Plus jungler right now, but for this, we're okay. The reason I would be doing that is because, well, first of all, I'd be the jungler. so I'd be flaming myself. Second of all, it is a very predictable gank that Vi's going to be going here momentarily because your lane has to push. So if you just brick wall yourself in here, she can't get past you. You always kill her. And then the 3v3 is so hard winning. But again, that's a concept a little bit above our level to be watching lane wave states like that. I'm bringing it up because I think you can handle it within a couple months. I mean, the game is slow and that's bad. The game being slow is really bad for us. Okay, we're speeding it up a bit. We can't get out, I believe. Is Kate a comfort pick? Our team doesn't play Kate at all. I don't know why we have it. And the shutdown goes on the Corki. How forced is this? Oh, wait. No. No, 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 no! Oh, it's no minions! Oh, it's no minions! With Vi on same side. It works if Vi's not here, but... But then, yeah, then we just start walking up towards the pinged Corki. We're in the Rumble push thing again to deny some CS if possible. It's not going to happen, but... It is very good if it's a comfort pick. If Caitlyn is genuinely a comfort here, then Caitlyn B1 is a very dominant B1 in theory play. But it is not appropriate for us. And if we're going to be running the Volibear at all, it has to be supported by a bunch of things that can just team fight around it. Like, consistent scaling, like, I don't know, like something that compensates for Volibear falling off a cliff. This is a heads-up gank, very good to attack the Corki. Vi showing on, like, 2 HP against a champion who beats her up even if they're full HP. Oh, sorry, I hit that button. And you can see I'm like not actually reviewing anything at this point. Right? Was there a pause in the middle of a gank? Oh, guys, did we pause here? Was that trainer just pausing without talking to anybody? Like... Top of his family. Oh. Then you guys... Okay. Yeah, I ganked by it. Yeah, guys, by the rule book, it doesn't matter if trainer is getting ganked by his family and his parents are forcing him away. You cannot pause in the middle of combat. You are not allowed. By the rule book, you cannot do this. And they have every right to complain about it. I mean, Feeny dies no matter what's here, but even so, like, can't do that. I can't see the pauses in the replays, right? Without actively paying attention to them, but we cannot do that. Okay, what have we got here? Nami moment. This champion just gets into such doomed situations sometimes, like on Spell Thieves. You get hooked as well. So yeah, no, that's tilted. It completely throws off your timing. Kinda depends on the context, no? Like, I guess it depends on how long you expect your sequence to be. Like, okay, we have a Fed Ornn, which is kind of funny. We still have a small lead in mid lane. No, it's gone. Never mind. The shutdown compensated. We're ahead on Ashe. Vi has gone futures market to actually put herself ahead of Volibear, which is extremely cool. She's also building for her own power, which is very good in IBS. And like, I can't judge anyone for not knowing where Vi is because I haven't been watching, and I sleep. Honk shoe me moment. But while we're hard pinging, okay, we actually did see her then. We know where she is. We know that our bot lane should not be playing without a shadow. Okay, there's still a small chance to... The detour into steel... Okay, okay, we got something going. Okay, close. Good try, good try. Volibear shadowing here, just on the off chance Vi cancels. Like, I think I'm out of useful things to say, to be honest. I'm so tired. Does die anyway. Volley gets the kill again. Charisma goes for an all-in, but survives when intervention comes, and actually is trying to find... This guy's crazy. Look at him go! Look at the... Oh my god. Just everything in game 2 applies to game 3. Is that it's same thing again? You guys do have a minor advantage. There's no Drake setup whatsoever. Charisma's still trying to use ult to steal. Guess what less of a wombo got it. Yeah, you're right. Everything that applies to 2 applies to 3. Yeah, okay. Got. Full knowledge. Full knowledge. That Ashe ultimate is like the only tool we have for initiating at this point. Okay, okay. Tiny micro optimization as I prefer the word here. What are you guys just slowly bleeding out because you can't make plays from this point? Is that how it goes? Like the only thing you have is Ashe volley picks? It's IBG volley. And it's only gonna get weaker from here. Well, that's all of our ultimates. We can't fight this anymore. Alright, I guess Caitlyn Ash can kind of try to do something. Rumble, if he gets in, like, he can try. But, wait, Corki package. No, we're done here, right? We're leave. No, no. It's the same shit again, guys. Look. Are you not committing to this? What tools do you have? It's the same shit as last week. Exact same thing. Corki's gonna package over and kill everyone now. Just, okay. It's the same thing! It's the exact same thing! So, yeah, no, apparently we just need to learn our lessons the hard way. And I don't mind that, but if we're gonna learn the lessons the hard way, like, now that our roster is more stable, now that we have a little more time to work with, maybe we should try to find some practice days, you know? Like some extra practice. Huh. Paradox, I'm interested to hear more about the cleaver just better, because I also agree that cleaver is a really dominant item. But I haven't checked, like, actual personal selfish damage on Vi. Oh, no, we're forced to use our... What? That was for... What? For 2 creeps. He hasn't even shown that he's committing. And now it's 4v5 with Orin initiation. Right, but if Cleaver always outputs more damage, then that actually is something we need to be aware of. Because then there's no context of IBS, it is just wrong. Like, we can't even blame Corki for the outcome of this game. Feeney piloted it very well, and it was definitely annoying for you guys. We'll give him that, right? But, like, this isn't a Corki problem. Would be kind of surprised given, like, the raw... I mean, like... Vi's not supposed to be in long, extended fights is the thing. Vi is supposed to burst you out. Her combat rolls are so weird. She has engage and she has burst, and that's not a combination that goes on many champions. You know, like it's just the same shit, guys. Cleaver Eclipse is cool. I have been going Cleaver IBG a little bit just because my games require that I lean more into the initiation. I'm also not playing much Vi anymore, but... Cleaver Eclipse is good. If you're in really, really, really funny games, then, excuse me. Essence Reaver IE Eclipse is, like, the funniest possible build. It's not good a lot of the time, but when it is good, oh god. Do you guys remember when Vi had, like, that Gale Force hook? Where she could, like, Q you backwards with Gale Force? Or with Stridebreaker? Ugh, you've given the fish a book. She knows how to read now. What are we gonna do? That one was so broken. That one was so broken. They have all the agency. Volibear can't do anything anymore. I mean, that's probably the best Rumble ult you're gonna get in this context, but yeah. I don't have a problem with the fact that you were playing Game 2 Rakan unless you were not comfortable on Rakan, and unless, like, maybe it shouldn't have been picked on 3, right? That was my criticism of just what happened to her AD carry role, but I think it was fine in the context of your composition. It's just then a question of comfort. Right, okay, well, don't criticize yourself too much for a bad performance if it's going to be core pool. Just keep developing it then if it's core pool, right? Yeah, I can see we're just bleeding out slowly. It's disaster. Corky's gargantuan now. Trainer winning 1v2 is actually hilarious, but TPing out of perceived danger, I suppose. The champ has just completely stopped doing anything. Double hyper tank juggernaut, except neither of them have like meaningful CC at this stage of the game, and yeah, okay. I'm just gonna watch how this game like closes out and speed through it and wait until we die, and oh, it's just a pick, like, yeah. Oh, it's sport by them. That was funny. Doubling back because you wouldn't expect it, because you'd expect them to go straight onto Drake, but actually in doing so, they just secure more gold for themselves and still exit the Drake. That was initiated by us. But our carries are nowhere near any of this because got Nami ulted, and it's just, it's a desperation engage. Well, guys, look, genuinely, the first half of the series was very well played, and there is improvement that we're seeing, but it's still far sloppier than we would like, and it's not, at this point, it's not just because we're Iron, Bronze, Silver players, right? We can't absolve ourselves of blame and just say, like, well, we're bad, because, like, the goal is to be better than that. And there were a lot of things that we've already talked about, right? Seeing that Drake again, the exact same Drake as last week, where we just kind of watched as they took it, knowing we can't get it because we don't have cooldowns and because our top lane is actively on a split push. Seeing us do it again was heartbreaking. And there's literally nothing else I can say other than we're just getting caught. Like, and it sucks that that has to be the conclusion, but at the very least, it has a simple solution, which is what is supposed to be the core skill that we're developing, which is just, you don't turn off the brain. Watch game 2 over again until the throw. And that's how I want you guys, like, flowing through the map and working together, right? You did execute it on it. Or, sorry, you did execute on it already. You really did. You did execute. But then the brains went off, right? Full improved roster plus noticeable improvements from next week. Yes, we are only going to get better. And because again, I'm not trying to tear us down. I'm trying to build us up. I'm trying to connect with everybody and build us up, right? It is just depressing. It's just demoralizing. And again, you guys don't have experience before this playing outside of solo queue. So this is new. The fact that you can talk to your teammates and make plans together is new, right? Yeah, we just had some trouble pulling things together because our original intended roster just had some weird scheduling things came up after we signed up. But now this core of 5 that we've seen should be what we use going forwards. I already submitted a roster change formally. I have to check on that later. You guys will get better. Making playoffs sounds nice. I think it's. I mean, you guys are 1-3 right now, right? So you have to really step it up at this point if you do want to make it there. But I'll check your standings, right? It could be possible. Do not. It is so. Probably 4th right now. Let's beat CV. Yeah, because what am I trying to say? Last bits. Yeah. It. You just can't lose to Bank in week 6 and you make it. I hope you guys do make it. We want a rematch. We want a rematch. That'll be a good one. So, yeah, I just... Please, over the next week as we're practicing together, please just try to become mindful of everybody else. It's just the first step of becoming a team, right? It's the first step of not being a solo queue player. I don't have anything more insightful to say right now. I'm exhausted. I gotta get up at 8 a.m., 8:30. It's already almost midnight, and I need to purge myself of everything. Yeah, we're trying to. Karibo, thanks for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here. To everybody in the ASL community who keeps stopping by, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. It is very nice to connect with you all. The intention for the next few days, we have Legends of Runeterra tomorrow. We have a planned League of Legends ranked session on Monday, so I can become eligible for my own league. And then on Tuesday, my team debuts in Blue Otter League. So we are going to be returning to competitive play, and I'm going to make my competitive debut as a jungler, which is a little nerve-wracking. So, we'll see that. Everybody, don't forget to love yourselves, respect each other. I will see you all later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.